Yes, guys, welcome to our today's class. As you know, this is our CCNA 2. Remember, guys, uh, if you need to do your CCNA 1, you can go to CCNA 1 videos and make sure to contact me in order for me to register you, right? If you want to get your registration, you want to do your Cisco courses, please use my email address below and my WhatsApp number in order for me to register you. So the location is not a problem. Wherever you are, you can get your registration easily. What you need to do, just use my email address or my WhatsApp number, and you are going to see one of the message or the email from Cisco that says like you are registered, right? So guys, and remember, we are going to be doing 15 videos. So this particular training, CCNA 2, will have 15 videos, all right? And you need to watch all those 15 videos in order for you to be certified. And for every video, you need to practice. So you are watching one side and you are practicing one side, right? So all those 15 videos are practical, right? So make sure that you go through all those videos, and we do have also like exercise for every video. Like at the end, is some of the exercises you need to go through, all right? So before even wasting my time, we are going to see what, okay, yes. So what we're gonna do, we are going to start now. Remember, guys, you did your CCNA 1, now you are doing your CCNA 2. Means that you are coming from junior position, you are moving to a senior position. CCNA 2 is basically in the middle, like intermediate level. So make sure like whatever that you are doing, you master your concept. You have to master your concept, right? You have to practice, right? So it's not about passing the paper. It's not about passing the exam. It's not about getting the badge, getting the certificate. It's about how you know how to configure those devices, right? So today we're going to talk about switches. We're going to talk about routers, but the most we are going to talk about switches, right? So lesson number 1, it's about switches. Let me try to share my screen first and we are going to start. Okay, let me see. Yes, guys, today we're going to talk about switches, but we're going to talk about what we call a flash in a Cisco device. Guys, when you have a Cisco device, like this particular device here, right? There is what we call a flash, right? There is what we call a flash here, like inside here. This flash can be like inside or outside. So internal or external. Like this one, the flash is internal. That flash is one of the memory. So when you see like a switch like this one, you have to know like, no, there is something, there's a memory here, one of the memory here. That memory, we call it a flash. So it's like a flash memory. But that particular flash can be like inside or internal or external, right? So some of the new devices like comes with external flash or external memory, right? So now you know, so you can see it here. So it looks like this one, right? You can see here, you can try to insert, I suppose like you want to insert it, you can insert it here. Now guys, number 1, we are here, yellow part here. This particular flash we are talking about, this particular memory, this memory is non-volatile, right? Non-volatile means that whatever that you are doing, suppose like you're configuring your devices, right? After configuring your devices, so even if there is a power cut, you aren't gonna lose your work, right? So it's non-volatile, it's permanent memory. You understand? So the memory, that flash memory, it's non-volatile. It's a permanent memory. Number 2, when we are talking about a flash, like inside or outside your switch, this particular flash will allow you to save files and data. Those files will be very, very important for the operation of the device. Remember, guys, you have your switch. Your switch needs to work. Your switch needs to connect other devices like cameras, like printers, like computers, right? So how your particular switch will operate, right? For that particular switch to operate, there must be some of the files, some of the data that will allow it to work properly. Those data, those files will be saved like in one of the memory that we call a flash, right? A flash is non-volatile. Number two, a flash will allow you to save or to keep some of the configurations that will allow your switch to work properly. Number three, we are here. So we spoke about number one here. Number two, we are done. Now, we are on number three here, guys. Number three, remember, guys, your computer will have an operating system like Windows, like Mac OS, and so on, right? The same as a switch. This particular device will have an operating system, right? That operating system, we call it iOS, Internet Operating System, iOS. So a switch will have an operating system. That operating system, we call it Internet Operating System, right? Now, that operating system, you need to save it somewhere, like inside your switch. You have to save it. Where are you going to save it? Inside your flash. So your flash memory will allow you to save the operating system of the switch. That operating system, we call it iOS, Internet Operating System image, right? So your flash will also keep your operating system image, your configuration files, and some other data, right? Number four, we are here, number four. I don't know which color I'm gonna take. Okay, I can take blue, but blue is not fine. Okay, or maybe I can keep it like this. So flash memory retains its content even when the device is powered off, making it ideal place for storing files that must exist like a course reports. So guys, let me first stop sharing. Let me first stop sharing. Guys, this is like easy lesson, but very, very important, right? We are talking about switches, right? We're talking about routers. Remember, switches, routers, they are like computers, right? They got some of the memories. The memory that we are talking about now, we call it a flash, or you can also call it a flash memory. So what does it mean? You have your switch, that switch will have a memory, that memory will be called a flash or flash memory, right? Now, that flash memory is non-volatile, right? So whatever that you are doing, all your configurations that you are doing with the device, even if there is a power cut, you won't want to lose your work. Number two, that particular flash will keep some of the information, some of the files that will allow your device to work properly. Remember, guys, when you have your modem, you have your router, you have a switch, there is no magic. For them to work, they need some of the files, some of the configurations that will allow them to work properly. The same as your switch, your router will have some of the files written by programmers that will allow them to work properly. Right? Now, those files, where are you going to save them? Those files are going to be saved where using what we call a flash. So the flash is non-volatile. A flash will allow you to save some of the configurations that will allow the switch to work properly. Very, very easy, guys. Number three, we spoke about like operating system, guys. Your computer, your laptop, even your phone will have an operating system like Android, Windows 10, Windows 7, Mac OS, and so on, right? The same as a switch, as a router. Like a switch also will have an operating system. That operating system, we call it iOS image. internetwork operating system image, right? Now, because your switch will have an operating system, where are you going to save that operating system? The operating system of the switch will be saved on what we call a flash, right? Like your Windows 10, your Windows 11, you always save it like on your hard drive, the same as a switch, right? Very, very like important, guys, to understand those concepts, because remember, those switches, you are going to play around them. You are going to change the operating system. You're going to update operating systems. When you don't know the locations of those operating systems, how are you gonna replace them? How are you gonna update them? All right? So guys, very, very easy for you. Flash is non-volatile. Flash will allow you to save some of the files that will allow the operating, the switch to work properly. Flash will allow you to save your operating system that we call IOS, Internet Operating System image, and some of the files. Okay, let me share it again, right? Okay, because we spoke about like a flash, let's first see how can you check, how can you go inside your flash, right? You have a switch, you want to check what is inside your flash, like inside that permanent memory. So what you're gonna do, let me just try to drag and drop like a switch here, right? You can have a computer and your console, but for me, you just go there, right? And you click on CLI. I like it because it's black. Huh? Okay, so when you are here, you just press like enter, enable. Now you are in privilege mode. From the privilege mode, now what you're gonna do, you have just to ask by using show command. You can say show flash, right? Show flash means you are asking the switch to show you the content, what is inside your flash. You press enter, right? So guys, you can see here, those are the things that are inside your flash. We are going to study them. But the most important is here. This is the operating system. This is the iOS image, right? You can delete it, you can update it, and so on, right? But we are going to study them. So very easy. When you have a router, you have a switch, you want to understand, you want to know what is inside your flash. You just say show flash, right? Because I'm talking about show flash, but let me first explain some of the things. Guys, when you are dealing with those configurations, there are different ways to get help, right? Like when I'm here, like in privilege mode, you just type question mark. Question mark will show you available comments that you can use with like here. So you're in privilege mode, you can forget something, you can use the question mark, like here, question mark. You see? When you press the question mark, they will show you like first column, name of the comment and the explanation. So those are the commands you can use with show, like show player, show clock, show configure. Those are the commands that you can use on this particular privilege mode, right? You can press enter, enter. So, right? So when you wanna get help, when you don't know which command you're gonna use, like here, like on the privilege mode, just type question mark like this, right? And you're going to find what you are looking for, right? You can say, no, I'm looking maybe, so you can see like you can use also show command and so on, right? Okay, suppose like you type show, no, you forgot like show what? Show flash or what? You just add question mark. So it will show you what are the parameters you can use like after show, right? So when you are using show, you can continue with access list, like ARP and so on, right? And you press like enter, right? So those are the commands that are available under show, right? But when you are using a physical device, you're gonna see more. Now you can see here, there is flash. Now you're gonna say, I wanna use flash. Now you can come down, you type show flash, and you press enter, right? So this is how to use the question mark. So the question mark will allow you to know what are the available commands or parameters you can use with a command, right? So guys, like another things again, guys, suppose like you wanna type configure terminal, you can use a shortcut. There is no need for you to type like everything. You can just say CON. From CON, you can press tab. The tab will complete the missing part. Just for you to go fast, you can press tab, right? But if it's not coming, you continue F, tab. You see it will add for you, configure. Now I'm looking for configure terminal. You can put C, tab. So the tab will allow you to complete the missing parts, right? So we spoke about the question marks and we spoke about the tab that will allow you to complete the missing part, right? And you press like enter. You can exit. So you can use the show flash. Sometimes you can use the directory. You can use the dir flash, right? And you press enter. It's gonna give you the same result, right? So guys, we spoke about flash, that particular memory. We spoke about how to see what is inside your flash by using the command show flash, right? Or dir flash, right? Let's go back to the documents that we are using. Now, we're going to talk about some key functions of flash memory in a Cisco devices, right? Number one, we spoke about storing, right? So your flash will allow you to keep the operating system, to save the operating system. But that operating system, we call it the iOS image, right? You know already, iOS, right? So this is the operating system that runs on the device, right? So how will you know that this is the operating system? Sometimes you must check the extension, .bin. .bin is the extension, right? Like here, when you are here, you see .bin, the extensions of this file. So this is the iOS image because of here, .bin, all right? So it will tell you, no, this is the actual iOS image of the device. Let's go back again, right? So when you boot up the device, right? Suppose like you power on your device will load the iOS image from the flash into the RAM. Remember, like your laptop, like your computer, when you switch on your computer, what happens? Your operating system will be loaded to the RAM, to the memory RAM, all right? The same as a switch. So when you switch on your switch will go to the flash, take the operating system, the iOS image, load it inside the RAM, right? Because when you got your laptop, your computer, whatever that is not inside your RAM will never be executed. So your processor will execute things that comes from the RAM, the same as your switch, right? But don't mind about this part. Yes, now storing configuration files, right? Because we are talking about a flash. Your particular flash will also save some of the configuration file, like startup configuration file. Remember, when you are doing your configuration, show run, interface, whatever, when you save them, it's gonna go to the startup configurations. So the startup configurations, right, will also go where? Like into the flash memory, especially in what we call a non-volatile RAM, right? Like when you configure your IPs, wherever, after saving, so it will go to the startup configurations. You can also use what we call, so a flash will also have what we call a backup files. So the flash memory can also be used to store backup configuration files, system logs, and other type of data. I don't want you to waste your time there, right? And remember again, your flash can store many operating systems, right? Your flash can save different operating systems. You can say show VLANs, you're gonna see different operating systems, and you can play around between them, right? Okay, let me just go first. And you have to remember, guys, we spoke about two types of flash, the internal and external, right? The internal flash will come with the device, but the external one, you can add, right? So some Cisco switches such as higher end routers or modular switches may have external flash card that can be added to the device. So you can add the external flash. So when you go to the internet, you just type the internal flash, right? Flash Cisco device. You go to images. Yes, you can see them. They are here. Those are the built-in. But you can also check the external one, how the external looks like. This is how the external looks like. And you can see where you can fit them, right? The external, they are here, right? Yes, let's go back to the documents. Where is it? Yes. Okay, yeah, we spoke about how to check dir flash, show flash. We spoke about it already. Now, guys, sometimes you can try to copy files to or from flash memory. You can use also this command, like copy tftp flash, right? So this command means what, but don't worry about it. It means that sometimes you have one of your laptop. This is your saver, right? You already saved the iOS image. You have them there. Now your router is here. You wanna get your iOS from the laptop, right? So you can use this command, the copy tftp, the trivial file transfer protocol. So you can use this command when you wanna copy the iOS from the server to the flash or from the flash to the server, right? You can be in Durban, your server is in maybe in Pretoria, and your iOS image is in Pretoria. You can try to get them. You can try to load them from the device that's in Durban. You just say copy space tftp semicolon flash, right? Very easy. You can also delete the operating system or the iOS image. You can delete it. You can remove it from the device. So you have a switch here. You can delete the iOS image. How are you gonna do it? You go to the command prompt, delete space flash semicolon. You type the name of the iOS image, right? But sometimes from Packet Tracer, it won't gonna work because Packet Tracer is limited, right? But from the real equipment, or when you are going to go to CCNA 3, you are going to use like other simulators, right? So remember, you can delete the iOS image by using the command delete space flash, right? You can also copy the iOS image from the flash or to the flash by using the copy space tftp semicolon flash semicolon, right? Very easy, guys, right? So let me first stop sharing. Guys, I don't want to rush. We spoke about a memory that will be used by your switch, by your routers, by your switches, by your routers, all right? One of that particular memory, we call it a flash. That flash can be built in or external, right? That flash will allow you to save the operating system that we call like iOS image, and that flash can allow you also to save some of the configurations that will allow your device to work properly, right? Now, how will you know, how will you see the content, whatever that is inside your flash, that particular memory? How will you see? You have to type show space flash or dir space flash semicolon, right? And we spoke about, guys, large, like big companies. Sometimes you're gonna have your iOS like image maybe somewhere, like you can have some of the servers, and all your operating systems or all your iOS are saved there. Maybe in Pretoria and you are in Durban, in different cities, but for the same company, you are connected. Now, you can try to copy some of the operating system. You can try to copy some of the iOS the image from the server. How to do it? The command is copy space tftp semicolon flash semicolon. So you can copy something from the server or to the server. You can take it from the switch, you put it to the server, right? And you can also delete, you can delete your iOS image. You just say delete semicolon, the name of the iOS image. And remember again, the iOS image, you are going to know by checking the extension .bin, right? Okay, let's continue, guys. I don't know what time is it now, but yes, guys. Now we are going to talk about, sometimes you can try to delete like whatever that is inside your flash. Sometimes you want to reset the device. You can just say like erase flash, right? But because we are using a simulator for us to delete, right? You can also use this one for deleting. I'm just checking where is my packet tracer. I got so many screen here. Okay, you go to your device. Suppose like you wanna delete, like enable, right? You gonna say erase. Suppose like you don't know what come like after like erase. You must ask question mark. There is no need to memorize. When you know something, the question mark will allow you to know what comes like after. You say question mark, so they will tell you, you know what? After erase, the erase, you can use startup config. You type like startup config, right? You understand? And you press like enter. They're gonna ask you, do you wanna delete? Yes, right? So what does it mean? You are deleting previous configurations, all right? This is how to delete. So basically, you are deleting what we call a VLAN database, right? You are deleting a database for all those other networks. Remember, guys, most of the time, guys, okay, let me first. Guys, when you have a switch, like this particular switch, right? This particular switch can come, maybe there are some of the previous configurations here. Some of the previous configurations, they're already here. And you too, you are coming with your own configurations. Maybe it's gonna be like a problem, right? It's gonna be a problem because like old configurations, like plus your configurations, it's going to be a problem. Sometimes you have to wipe the database. You have to wipe what we call the VLAN database. It's like kind of resetting, right? Resetting all the configurations. How to do it? You say erase startup config. So most of the time, when you're in front of a switch, you need to make sure like all the configurations that are there like are coming from you guys. How are you gonna be sure? You can try to reset everything from zero. Erase, startup, config. So every time you meet a device, you wanna work on that particular device, you have to make sure like there is no previous configurations by using the command erase startup config. But don't do it. So if maybe like it's working already inside your company, there is only one person who's not connected, and you go to the device, you use the erase as startup config. No, we are talking in a case where you wanna start from fresh, from the beginning, right? you are doing the configuration from the beginning. You want to make sure like there won't want to be like a confusion between previous configuration and your own configuration. Sometimes, so even new devices, you must make sure that you are using your current configurations by doing the resetting, by doing the erase startup config. All right? Yes. So guys, you can also use this comment. Oh, I cannot see. I don't know if, okay. Yes, that was my document. It's here. We spoke about the arrays already. Where am I? I'm just looking at my document. Okay, I wanna. Yes. Okay. I cannot see that particular comment that I'm looking for, but I'm going to explain it. I want it to be written here, right? So there is also this comment, guys. Let's say you are here, right? You can also use this comment delete. You just type delete. If you don't know what comes like after delete, you only remember delete, question mark, right? So delete, you can use word or flash, right? But this time I'm going to use flash. You can say delete flash, semicolon, question mark. If I made a mistake, okay, semicolon, all right? And you can use what we call VLAN database, right? VLAN det. That's what I was looking for, VLAN det. So this one also will allow you to wipe whatever that is inside your flash, and you press like enter, you confirm, right? But you see like here, we do have like error. Why? Because there is nothing yet. There is no networks or no VLANs that we already saved. Don't mind, there's a chapter about VLANs. So guys, we spoke about how to delete some of the things like inside your flash, like the VLAN, delete space flash, semicolon VLAN dot that. And now when you are done, guys, you need to do what we call reload. You can say reload and you confirm, all right? Now the switch will do what? Will be loading the operating system, the iOS image from the flash to the RAM so that the processor will go and execute it. And you press enter. So from here, you are sure like everything is fresh from the beginning. So whatever that you are doing, you are sure that it's you are doing them, right? Let me repeat again. Like enable, you press enter, show flash. You can also use the flash to check like the content. So if you wanna delete, right? Like erase, like startup, config, press enter, you confirm again. You can also delete the content of your flash, especially the VLAN database by saying delete a flash VLAN.dat. VLAN.dat. I don't know why it's giving me a headache, Mikey. Okay. Remember, it's a simulator, right? So some of the things that will work like perfectly on physical device by ear, just a small space, it's confusing, right? You confirm, right? And when you are done, you need to reload. And you press, you confirm again, right? Yeah. So basically, guys, you must always work with a fresh device. You must make sure like your device got your own configurations from the beginning, all right? Okay, let's go again to our documents. Okay, where are we now? Okay, I want to explain something. Yes, guys, we are going. Okay, let me type it down. The content of a flash. So, guys, when you have your flash, when you say show flash, what are the things that you can see like inside? Like here, guys, when you say like enable show flash, right? You can see this one. You as a specialist, you need to interpret this one. What does it mean, right? This number one, we are here. Number one, this typically represents the position or index number of the file, like in the list of files stored in flash memory. What does it mean, guys? So suppose like you have different files, right? This file, this number one shows like your file is on the first position, right? So if you see number two means that particular file is in position number two, like here. This one, this iOS like image like is in position one. So if you have another file down here, it's gonna be on position two, three, and so on. So it's just showing the position. Okay, number two, you can see here, it's what we call file permissions. This one, it's a file permissions. What can you do with this? What can you do with this iOS image? What can you do when you are in the flash? The R means you can read, you can view. Write means, no, W means write, you can update, right? View and update. So R and W means read and update. So those are just the permissions. So this one is the position, and this is the permission that we do have on this particular file or image, right? Now we are here, number three. This is the size of this whole file here. This is the size. For you to get it in megabyte, you can divide this one by 1024, all right? So we are here, the file permission, like we spoke about it. So this is the file size, right? So you see like here, so we spoke about like number one, like is the position of the file, the permission that you have, you can read, you can view, and you can update. How big is your iOS? It's this one. For you to know it in megabyte, you can divide it by 1024, right? And now we are here, no date. What does it mean by no date? No date means that this indicates that the date of creation or modification of the file is not available or not displayed. So there is no date, right, of the configuration of the device. And the last one is the file name, guys. This is the file name of the iOS image, right? Now we are going to explain about the C2950 and so on, right? We're going to break it down. So when you see your image, your iOS image like this one, you as a specialist, you must be able to determine, to explain what does it mean or to understand the meaning, right? So what does it mean? This iOS, like it's written like this, right? So this is the actual file name stored in flash memory. Now we're gonna break it down. This C2950, this one indicates the model of the Cisco device. So if you see from the operating system, that name of the iOS, so it says C2950. So this is the device model. It's the Catalyst 2950 series. You can go to the internet. You can ask catalyst the 2950. Suppose like you wanna see, you see, catalyst 2950. This is how it looks like, right? So this part will tell you already like, oh, this is the catalyst at 2950. Series means it can be 51 and so on, right? Okay, now, where are we? Yeah, I got so many things that are open on my, okay. The second part, this one, right? This represents what? The iOS feature set or variants. In this case, it indicates the type of features enabled in the iOS image. This one will indicate some of the capabilities, some of the features that are available, some of the things that this operating system can do, the capabilities. Like for this one, so it can do what? Like IP routing, like the quality of service, like layer 2 switching. So those are the things this particular switch, this particular like iOS can execute, right? Now there is what we call this MZ, right? This MZ shows that the image is compressed. This one, it shows like the image is compressed. And this one, so this is the iOS version. This is the iOS version. You can see it here. So this is just a version, the version of the operating system of this particular iOS. And this is the extensions, right? So guys, very easy. When you just here, you say show flash. Somebody can ask you, so what does it mean? So no, this is the position. There is only one file. This is the permission. The R means read, I can view. W is something like updating, so I can update. So this is how big is the size of the file. And this one, it's the iOS image, right? What does it mean by C2950? C2950 is the model of the device, the Catalyst 2950. What does it mean by this one? So this is a future set. Remember, for every operating system, remember guys, you have Windows 11, Windows 10. They are coming with different capabilities, different features. The same with the iOS image. They're gonna come with some of the features that are gonna be different, like Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10. They don't have the same capabilities, the same functionalities, the same features, right? So the same also with the iOS for the switch. So the MZ shows like the image is compressed. And this one, it shows the versions of the device. And this one shows the versions of the iOS, and dots being it's the extensions, right? Very easy to understand. Now, guys, we spoke a lot about these things. Now you're gonna have some of the exercises, like this one, the exercise number 1. You are going to pick up a layer 2 switch, the 2960. You are going to tell me what is the name of the file, what are the permissions, how big the size of the file is, what is the date, file number, which number, is it number 1, number 2, file permission, what are the file permissions, what is the size, date, and the name. You can also go to layer 3 switch, you do the same, right? So you come here. When we are talking about layer 3, we are here. The 3560, right? This is a layer 3 switch, right? So you just take this one, you go to CLI, you can see still booting or still loading the iOS from the flash to the RAM. Okay, when you're done, you just press like enter, enable, you press enter, you can say show flash. Yes, you can see how many files number are here. You can see here, and you must be able to explain what is here. according to my questions, right? The same, you can go to the routers, you check the model, what I'm asking for. Maybe the 2901, you press there, you go to CLI. Okay, the router also still booting up. It takes a bit more time than a switch. Okay, when you're done, you say no, enable, show flash, you press enter, right? And you must be able to explain what you see here, right? So guys, this is the end of our first video. Please make sure that you are going to practice. Like every time you are dealing with switches, you are dealing with routers. Try to understand which iOS image is here and what are the future set, is it compressed or not, what is the size, and so on, right? So thank you very much, guys. It has been a long lesson, but for sure you are going to practice and understand better. So we are going to meet on later on, and we are going to move to our lesson number 2. Remember, guys, wherever you are, if you want to get your registration, just use my email below and my WhatsApp number. I will register you. You are going to get a message from Cisco that says that you are registered and you can start studying. And remember, those are the paid courses. Some countries, it's $4,000, $5,000. For those who are using Rand, it can be 10,000 Rand, 15,000 Rand, but we are committed to support the community and we don't want to put those prices in order for stopping people to access the technologies. For now, guys, make sure that you are going to be finishing your courses. Thank you very much.